Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Angela, and today's video is going to be another paranormal video, and I am having so much fun making these videos for you guys, so I'm so glad that you are enjoying them. But with that being said, I'm going to be reading some paranormal experiences today. I actually found a really cool website called The Occult Museum. I read some stories from them before on my channel, and I found another cool series of stories. So basically this website is full of like paranormal and like creepy stuff, and people submit like their real paranormal experiences. So I'm going to be reading this one for you guys. This one's actually a mix though, so some of the experiences are paranormal and some of them are not, so kind of a mix of, you know, everything creepy. So if you want to hear these stories and you are ready to be creeped out, then just keep watching. So the first story is called Under the Bed. I had just moved into my first apartment and was in the process of moving in. The door that led into my apartment locks itself automatically when closed. So I was going to the entrance of the apartment complex to get my mail while talking on my phone with my boyfriend. I returned to my apartment and sat on the bed while opening the mail while using the phone. I dropped the phone on the floor and it landed under the bed, so I had to lie on the floor and stretch for it. I saw something that caught my eye. There was someone under my bed. My eyes widened and I choked the urge to scream. The person under my bed was lying still with his back towards me and his head to his chest. So I couldn't see his face, and he didn't see me. Trying to be rational while so many thoughts rushed through my head, I picked up my phone, said, "Sorry, I dropped my phone. I'm just gonna take a shower and I'll call you back." The bathroom is right by my bed, so I hastily walked in, quietly locked the door, turned the shower on, jumped out my window. My apartment is on the first floor, thank God, and called the police. They told me to wait nearby, but to go across the street and see if anyone comes out the door to the apartment complex. This was during summer and it was still light out. I placed myself across the street, hiding behind a car while watching my open bathroom window and the entry door. I called my boyfriend and he came to me just before the police. I gave them my keys and they went inside. Only moments later, two cops came out holding a thin and tired-looking man. His eyes looked crazy, but he didn't try to get away. The policeman that had stood beside me and comforted me while the police searched through my house, I was a mess, shivering and crying, told me that the man stood outside my bathroom door with one of my kitchen knives waiting for me to come out. This man had somehow crept in my entry door while I was getting my mail and hid under the bed. The man that was trying to hurt me turned out to be a homeless person and was placed in a mental hospital. My boyfriend moved in with me the very next day. Yeah, that's really creepy. I would have wanted my boyfriend to move in with me the next day too. And she's actually really smart. It's a good thing that she had like really good reactive instincts to not scream when she saw him under the bed, because that most likely would not have ended so well for her. And yeah, I feel like if that was me, I probably would have screamed and gotten myself killed. So she was a very, very smart person. Back in junior high, the first time my parents left town and left me alone for a week. It was going good. I stayed in the basement, and the entrance to the hallway that leads to my room had decorative beads hanging in the entranceway. Oh, I already know where this is going. She probably heard the beads move. I'm in my room watching TV with my faithful dog, Smokey, laying at the foot of my bed. All of a sudden, he starts barking wildly. A bark I had never heard out of him. Almost a cry. I think something is wrong with him, and just as I almost get a hand on him, he jumps off the bed and dives under it completely silent. I get to the floor to look under the bed for him, and I hear the beads in the entranceway start to rattle together as if someone ran into them with a lot of force. I sit there scared shitless for a bit, then grab a bat and investigate. The beads are still swinging with force. Every door and every window in the house is still locked from the inside. There aren't any air vents close to the beads, and Smokey refused to come out from under the bed for another 2 hours. To this day, I have no idea what caused those beads to rattle. Ooh, I have goosebumps. Yeah, something like that has happened to me before, where I like specifically felt like I know I heard something in my house or my apartment and my cat freaked out, but there was nobody there. That's like the most unsettling feeling in the world. My dad loves to whistle, something I do a lot too. When he comes home, I often know it because he mostly enters the house whistling. Anyway, I was alone in the house in my room. I can't remember where the rest of my family was, but I know I was waiting for my dad to arrive home from work first. I was doing something on the computer and I heard whistling in the living room. I figured I just didn't hear the door opening. The whistling continued, and after a while I got up to say hello. Nobody there, door locked, gate locked. The whistling stopped when I was on my way from my room to the living room though. I used to live by myself, or so I thought. I never even met him. I didn't know his name or his face. I was blissfully unaware of his every existence. I will never know why or when it started. I'm glad for that, I guess. I moved into a very small apartment in February of last year. My landlord, Olivia, was a sweet older woman who would cook too much and bring me much appreciated leftovers. She was great to me, even after telling her my problem. I'm antisocial, but she didn't mind renting to a reclusive young girl who reminded her of her daughter. Every few weeks, she would knock on my door and then leave, letting me know she was leaving something for me. I loved that. Not even my family would cook so well. The next morning, I wash and leave her empty containers outside my door, and by an hour or so, she would take them back again. My other neighbors seemed fine, but I never talked or visited with them. I work from home, so anytime I ever was forced to go out, I rushed out into my apartment, avoiding an uncomfortable situation. I loved living alone. It was everything I had hoped for. I could just breathe. By April, though, I started noticing things were not right. They were moving or plain disappearing. I was convinced it was just anxiety caused by my new medication and the move. Another side effect was it would make me so drowsy. Since I hated seeing the doctor, I just dealt. I took naps during the day now and eventually stopped caring, until one incident doubled my paranoia. Olivia brought me some sort of Greek tossed salad and dressing for lunch one day, and I enjoyed it with my friend Netflix. I fell asleep in the middle of Porchlandia and woke up that evening at 5 p.m. Per usual, what was not usual was my bedding on the opposite side of me was disturbed. I only sleep on the right side, always. Even more, it felt warm. My first thought was I must have rolled around a lot, but I knew it was too odd to dismiss. I got up and searched my apartment, gripping my phone with 911 typed in. Oh, I've totally done that before. Nothing else was disturbed. Everything was exactly like it should be. I let it go. For the next few weeks, everything was normal, pardon the occasional misplaced shoe or drawn back shower curtain. I thought about telling someone, my parents, maybe Olivia, but if it's not life or death, I'm not reaching out to anyone. I wasn't scared, I was nervous, maybe a little stubborn, but I stayed. I am not letting some stupid anxiety ruin my lovely, lonely world. May came, and it was getting worse. My panties, toothbrush, hell, even my food was being misplaced. Every time I woke up, there was this strange odor in the air. I finally realized this won't go away by ignoring it. I called my mom and begged to come stay a few days. When I got home, I told them everything. Saying it out loud solidified any creepy suspicions. That weekend, my dad went to my apartment, and what was found was true horror. Written all over the walls, "Come back, baby, please." Ooh, this gave me chills. He ran out and called the police. There was no one living in my apartment, but someone definitely had access besides me. The investigation revealed a man, Henry, the son of my landlord, Olivia, was in a projected relationship with me. They showed me his confession on tape. He admitted coming into my apartment every night and every day with his mother's extra key. He claims we were in love and he had my permission. He drugged his mother's food she left out for me, causing my drowsiness and falling asleep so he could come in and watch me sleep, touch my hair, and kiss my shoulder. Oh, that's creepy. The leftovers I had in the fridge were tested and confirmed. I was absolutely horrified and disgusted. A man I never knew existed collected my drain hair, clothes, and trash and practically lived in my apartment for 4 months. That's disgusting. That is so creepy. That's like anybody's worst nightmare. When I was younger, I spent the day helping a neighbor rake leaves on his property. He was friendly with my family, so he walked me home to say hi to my parents. We walked into the house and heard my mom upstairs talking. It sounded like she was on the phone and walking around. I called for my dad, no answer. My neighbor says, "Well, it sounds like your mom is on the phone. I'll catch them another time." We say goodbye and he leaves. I go upstairs to see my mom, but I can't seem to find her or hear her anymore. I search the house and it's empty. I'm thinking, did she leave the house while I was saying goodbye to the neighbor somehow? I call my dad's cell. My mom didn't have one, and he picks up. I ask him where he is and if he knows where mom went. We're at the store. We've been running errands for a couple of hours. Instant goosebumps. My neighbor and I both heard footsteps upstairs and a woman's voice. No idea who or what it was, but we both heard it. I waited outside until my parents got home. Yeah, I would have waited outside too. I don't know if I would have gone back in. When I was really little, my parents would let me stay up late on the weekends and watch TV until I fell asleep. Same. I really loved these times, and I would stay up later than anybody else just because I could. Well, one night, I was almost asleep on the couch when I heard a noise on our front porch. It was the sound of our old-fashioned porch swing moving back and forth. I was a little scared, so I crept toward the bay windows of my living room and peeked out towards the porch. Sitting on my front porch swing was an older woman, probably in her 50s, wearing nothing but a nightgown, covered in blood and holding a huge kitchen knife. Oh my god, that's absolutely terrifying. I flipped out immediately and ran screaming into my parents' room, but was too terrified to form words. My parents saw that I was upset, but when I finally was able to tell them what I saw, my dad got really angry and told me that it was just a dream and to go back to bed. I refused and kept crying and screaming until he had enough and snatched my arm and dragged me towards the front door to prove that nothing was there. I kicked and screamed all the way trying to make him stop, but he kept pulling me. Finally, we got to the door. He unlocked it, swung it open, and said, "See, there's nothing that..." To this day, I have never seen the look of fear and shock that was on his face when that woman turned and stared at both of us and slowly stood up with the knife. My dad slammed the door shut and got my mom to call the police while he went and got his gun. He went back to the door with a 12 gauge and cracked the door enough to stick the barrel out. He asked her what she was doing, and she said, "Somebody killed my husband, but it wasn't me." My dad told her the police were coming, and she freaked out, grabbed the knife, and walked away. The police found her 15 minutes later trying to break into one of our neighbors' houses. I never slept in the living room again. I got up around 2 a.m. I don't really remember the exact time, but it was past midnight. I saw a figure in the hallway, like a silhouette. I couldn't see the face, but I could swear it was looking at me. I went back to my room, took a breather, went out again, and it was still there. I closed my eyes and shook my head, looked back. It was gone. I went to the washroom because I felt like I was going to piss myself, and when I got out to go back to my room, the figure was in front of my room, looking at me. I closed my eyes and reopened them. It was gone. I never saw it again. Ooh, that gave me chills. A few weeks after our daughter was born, we had a really hard night with her not settling. She was in her basket beside our bed, and her brother, 3, was in his bedroom. I'm guessing that means he was 3 years old. She finally fell asleep around 5:30, and our son woke up shortly after. We could hear him singing through the baby monitor, which we still use on him as he had begun sleepwalking. We were both lying in bed silently listening to our son when a female voice on the baby monitor did a loud shh. Ooh, that's creepy. My partner leapt up and ran through to our son's room, and I heard my son ask, "Daddy, who was that?" He told him it was me, but our son insisted it came from the foot of his bed. Since then, we've both heard what sounds like someone walking up to the corridor when everyone is in bed, and I've experienced a strange feeling where if you leave the flat and have to go back in for something, the atmosphere changes from happy family home to terrifying. If I do forget something after going out, if it's not absolutely essential, I won't go back in. This has been occurring over the past few months. My parents just finished building a new home on the lake. We've been there for about a year in total. The first thing that freaked me out was when I was home alone for the week. I was upstairs playing video games when I heard a dog whimper from the kitchen area, which is right at the bottom of the stairs. I figure that it's my dog having to go out, so I call her and ask if she does. But she runs upstairs. She looks as though someone just scolded her. But she's a timid dog, so I thought nothing of it. Anyway, 5 minutes later, I'm finishing up the game and about to let her out when I hear the same dog whimper. But my dog is right next to me. I'm a little weirded out. Then it happens again, followed by what I can only describe as a meager attempt of a human imitating a dog whimper. Ew. Now I'm flipping out. I'm not sure if there's an intruder or what. Trying to be rational, I'm thinking maybe my uncle came with his dog to check on me and they're just playing downstairs. While all these thoughts are going through my head, the whimpers continue. The dog goes and then the human, just back and forth. All of this is taking place over about 30 seconds, but I grow a pair and start to approach the top of the stairs as quietly as possible. My dog has also got up and looked scared, but as I got to the stairs, the noise gets quieter. I hear one last muffled human whimper, except that this time it sounds like it's upstairs in a corner. I nearly shat my pants and had a knife on me the rest of the week. Worse yet, over the past month, my dog has gone missing 4 times, and I'm talking like my mom alerted the neighbors and did a full search through the house inside and out, not finding her for hours, and then suddenly we hear her crying from a closet upstairs. She somehow locks herself inside. It's the first place we check now, and even then, there's been a time where she's missing, the closet is open, so we continue to search, and then 10 minutes later, we find her locked in that closet. Freaks me out because I sleep alone upstairs. One day while doing my laundry, one of the lights blew out in my basement. My basement is set up so that the laundry room is split from the other side of the basement with a wall and a door. In order to get upstairs, you have to exit the laundry room and go through the other part of the basement. So the light blew in the other part, not the laundry room. As it was only light on that side, it was pretty effing dark. I finished the laundry I had to do while dreading the walk through the dark basement. I exit the laundry room, get halfway through the basement, and I hear a loud cackle. Imagine a sound people make when they imitate a witch. Ew. Take that and imagine that the witch had been smoking for 50 years, making her voice deeper and hoarser. That is what I heard, clear as day, right behind me. I did not hesitate to bolt for the stairs. I waited until my father got home and then changed the bulb. I have yet to hear that cackle since, and I have not told a single person in the house about it. Alright guys, that is all I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this paranormal video. I'm trying to come up with new ideas as to what to produce for paranormal content, because I know you guys really liked my paranormal experience stories and you really seem to like the Wolf Manor story, so I would love to do more stories like that, maybe researching, you know, other haunted locations or paranormal, you know, mysteries, and really go into more depth about those. So if you would like to see more videos like that, then definitely let me know. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I would love for you to join our YouTube family. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!